So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And thank you so much for being with us today. It's really lovely to see so many familiar faces, as well as some new ones on the call today. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ollie Belcher, the founder and chief executive of Shivia. And I'm absolutely delighted that you're joining us on our virtual field trip to India, where we're going to be taking you to some of the villages in the states of West Bengal and Odisha, also known as Orissa, to meet some of our team and farmers. What I really love about these virtual trips is that we can take lots of you to India in an environmentally friendly way without the hassle of getting visas or suffering from jet lag or finding a week in your diaries to go. So the field trip today will be subject, of course, to internet actually working in actually both in the UK and in India, but fingers crossed. So before we zoom off to India, I'm going to hand you over to Victoria, who's our UK operations manager. And many of you know Victoria, and she's going just to run through some basic housekeeping points. Victoria, over to you, please.
Hi, thanks, Ollie, and welcome everybody to our virtual field trip. And my just suggestions to you are, if you could all make sure you're on mute and put your video off for now. We want to see you all, definitely see you all at the end, but it helps if we have the video and audio off for now. We are recording the meeting, so if we know that a lot of people can't make it live today, but and if you have to pop off at any time, there will be a recording on YouTube later. Please use the chat function if you want to say anything. We'll look at that, and then we can answer any of your questions at the Q&A session at the end. And then also for everybody who's still with us at the end, we want to take a screenshot of everyone who's with us. So we're going to ask you to put your videos back on at that point. I think that's all from me for now. Ollie, back to you.
Thank you, Toria. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to some of our wonderful team in India. So many of you know Joe, who's our lead consultant in India. And today Joe is in the office in Kolkata. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Ollie. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen across the globe. Thank you so much for taking out time and joining our virtual field trip. Hope it will be a memorable trip. Thank you, and back to you, Ollie.
Thank you, Joe. And we also have Chandrani, who's our head of livelihood programs in Bengal with Nurden, which is the NGO we founded in 2011 to deliver our operations in West Bengal. And today, Chandrani is in the field in our Sundia location in West Bengal, which I think I've just heard this morning from Joe is now over 42 degrees, whereas we're sitting here freezing in London. So, hi, Chandrani.
Hi, Ollie. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for participating today. We know we are boiling, but we are so excited to take you on a very, very exciting journey here. All the best. Best of luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandrani. So we also have Shmuti, who is based in the neighboring state of Orissa, to help manage our programs and partners there. And today, Shmuti is in the field with our NGO partner, Nirman, in the district of Nayagar. Namaste, Shmuti.
Namaskar. Good morning, good afternoon to all the politicians sitting across the globe. So this is Shmuti Bhushan, so consultant for Shivia. Now I am present at Nirman with my supervisor, Rajkumar Mandal, and the LSP Surendranath Pradhan.
Thank you, Shmuti. So as well as our management you've just met, we now have field teams of over 75 local staff, where in each location we have a field supervisor and a team of livelihood service providers running the day-to-day operations. And on the call today, we will have some of these field supervisors and livelihood service providers from both West Bengal and Orissa. So we have with Chandrani, we had Pato from at Sundia, as well as Rafikul, who is the agri-management services livelihood service provider, Jahangir for the poultry, and Rajal for the fish farming. So namaskar, everybody in Sundia location. Here's Chandrani, if you come off mute.
Namaskar. This is Partho. This is Jahangir, Rejaul, Rafikul is here. So hi from everyone.
Excellent, thank you. And Shmuti just mentioned Raj Kumar, who's the field supervisor from Nirman, as well as Surendranath, the what we call LSP, is the livelihood service provider. So Shmuti, can you quickly come back on and we can meet Rajkumar and Surender?
Yes, Oli. So this is Rajkumar.
Can we meet him? Can we see him?
This is Rajkumar. This is Rajkumar.
Namaste, everyone.
And this is our
Namaste.
LSP,
Namaste.
Surendranath Pradhan.
Hi, Surender. Lovely to see you. Thank
Yes.
you. As a bit of context, Shivia is now operating our agri-related livelihood programs in 5 states of East India, covering 1,700 villages. You can see the states here in the east. You've got West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Bihar, which is where we are replicating our poultry agri management services and poultry fish farming programs. And we're also running programs here in the west of the country, in Rajasthan and Gujarat, but they're more focused on beauty and cooks. So we're going to be focusing on the east of India today. And I'm also excited that we've expanded for the first time outside of India in the last year and a half. You can see in the bottom of the map, Madagascar, where we've been replicating our poultry development services and now our agri management services there to prove that the model can actually work outside of India and other places. So we can touch on that in the Q&A at the end. And finally, here in Mumbai, we have our Shivia Livelihoods Foundation team, which is just a small team there now to try and raise money in India for India. And Kashida's on the call today, so maybe you can meet her at the Q&A as well. We want to play you a little film, which will hopefully immerse you into India, get you in the mood and show you what it would be like to be on one of our field trips in person. So this footage is taken from field trips over the last few years. now you're all reminded of the colours, the beauty, the vibrancy of India. I want us just to focus our minds on some of the vast numbers in India. So right now, as you're aware, India is holding the world's biggest election ever, with nearly 1 billion people eligible to vote over the next 6 weeks. You know, Prime Minister Modi is definitely set to, well, is in the position to win on the 4th of June. And we're all reading and hearing stories about how India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And Modi has spent billions on connecting India with new infrastructure and tech platforms such as the Aadhaar program, you know, providing millions with proof of identity for the first time ever, and UPI payments for all people from all walks of life. And, you know, and companies such as Apple are now making over 20% of iPhones in India. But Modi also has to tackle an enormous challenge of creating hundreds of millions of jobs for a population where millions are still impoverished and millions are still left behind. So I just want us to focus our minds a little bit on those numbers and on the poverty in India. You know, and rather than looking at just income as a poverty indicator, we've been thinking about what's called multi-dimensional poverty, which includes indicators such as housing, sanitation, health. And the latest global poverty data for 2023 is now out. So I'm going to launch a little poll for you to participate in, which is all about poverty in India today. The question is, how many people in India today do you think are multidimensionally poor? So if you can all click on, we'll see what everyone thinks. Clicks have come in, so I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to share the results. So very good. 50% of you think that 230 million people are multidimensionally poor, which is the correct answer. And the reason I wanted to think about that, because that's just a staggering number of people. And to give you context, that's 3.5 times the population of the UK. So when people ask me, why do you work in India? This is why. 230 million people are still extremely poor. And 90% of those people live in rural India, which is where we mainly focus. So that's really why organizations like Shivia exist, to serve these extremely poor people who are global citizens and who are otherwise left behind. So how do we help these people? Well, our flagship program is called Poultry Development Services. And if you hear us saying PDS, that's what it stands for. So as a quick introduction to the program, or a recap for those of you who know it already, with PDS, we mainly target very poor women, and we train them in how to start and run a poultry enterprise from home. We provide them with a poultry toolkit, which you can see here on this slide, which comprises 10 one-day-old chicks, feed, vaccinations and medications for the chicks rather than the farmers. And the women contribute a little bit towards the cost of these toolkits so that they really value them and turn up for the training. And each toolkit costs about £15 and the farmers contribute roughly £5 towards it. And after about 2 years, when the women have the confidence and the knowledge to run a poultry enterprise, we put them into groups so they can get the toolkit parts on their own at wholesale prices, and they then have a sustainable enterprise that they can run without the need for our intervention. And we're now operating PDS in West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, and as you saw on the map earlier, Madagascar. But we tweak the model each time to suit the local context which is operating in. So we have our basic model you've just seen in West Bengal, but in Orissa, for example, the farmers simply cannot afford the £5 contribution, so they pay half of this. But the important thing is that they do contribute, so they have their skin in the game. And in Madagascar, we can't supply the Karoila breed there that we use in West Bengal, so we use a local breed called Agogasi. And rather than providing 10 one-day-old chicks, we provide 5-month-old birds. So we tweak it accordingly. But the important thing is that wherever we're operating PDS, the life-changing impact that the program is making. And we're hearing more and more from the women that they're using the money to buy mobile phones to either connect with loved ones who've had to migrate from the villages to the cities, or to provide extra learning for their children so they can stay in school, or the myriad of other things we all use mobile phones for. And since we started Poultry Development Services in 2011, we have distributed over 144,000 toolkits. So that's 1.4 million 10 one-day-old chicks. And this has been to over 18,000 farmers. And we're really proud that in West Bengal, 2,000 of these farmers are now completely independent of us, running poultry enterprises of over 250 birds, and often supporting their families entirely from this. So we're now going to go meet one of these independent poultry farmers, and she's called Bella Mondal, and she's in Sindhya location. So Tori, if we can play the clip with Bella, and then we can go to Chandrani live, that'd be super.
Hello everyone, I'm Chandrani Banerjee and I'm the head of livelihood programs for Nirdhan. Today we have come to meet Bella Mondal. Bella is our star of the day. She is in a poultry program and I'm going to tell you a very, very short story but very inspiring and motivating story about Bella. So today she is standing in front of this chicken house where she started her poultry farming 3 years back when there was the second attack of COVID-19. And today Bella has come a long way and she has become an independent farmer by going through our group model over a period of 3 years. I'm going to tell you her story now and take you through her entire progress in a very, very short video. So let us start with Bella. Bella, তুমি এখানে 10টা 20টা শুরু করেছো। So Bella started with 10 chickens in this chicken house. So let's walk and take a look at her big coop. And you can see that Bella has got 100 chickens now. 100. And she has built this by her own efforts. I am introducing you to Bella and her 2 daughters. This is Bonnie and this is Pooja. Both of them are extremely bright in studies and Bonnie has been able to go to her college. She got an admission in college 2 years back with the income that her mother has made from the poultry income. But to tell you, there's a very good news because from the last year, she has been getting a scholarship from the government for continuing her study in the college. She's an extremely bright student and therefore she has qualified for the scholarship program. And now her mother does not need to support her anymore. But her mother is still spending money on Pooja's education and she hopes that Pooja will be able to go to college one day and therefore do their university studies and get good jobs in the market. So this is her dream for her 2 daughters. So they have recently opened a shop just in front of their house and they are making a good income from this as well. She and her husband. Both of them used to do some handicraft work before COVID, which didn't go well and therefore their family was almost starving. So our poultry program has given them the opportunity to not only earn through that program itself, and this is also another additional source of additional income for the family. And now they both of them are educating their girls as well as saving for the future to get them married. So this is their dream and we wish them good luck. They're doing everything together and this is a perfect example of the success of our poultry program. Thank you so much for supporting, for your generous donations and for holding hands with us to help them to help themselves out of poverty. Thank you.
Ronnie. So if we can now maybe go live to Bella as well as Jahangir, who's the LSP who's helped Bella on her journey. That would be super, Chandrani. Let's see if we can get Chandrani on. I'll tell you what, we'll meet Bella when we go to our farmer for the interest of time. So we'll do instead, we'll go over to Orissa, which, as you saw on the map, is the neighbouring state to West Bengal, to meet one of our farmers who joined the programme more recently. And these farmers in Orissa are from the tribal communities, and they're really extremely, extremely poor, and they live in very remote locations, and so not usually serviced by NGOs or government programmes. So they're definitely harder to work with, and but the impact is really huge, and it's really where we should be. So we've now worked with 900 farmers between our three partners in Orissa since 2022, Lerman, Views, and DSS. So we're going to watch a little film that Shmuti, who you met, our consultant, recorded with our farmer Guru Barry, who has been trained by Shivia and our partner Nerman.
Hi, this is Smruti, consultant for Shivia. Right now, I am present at Nirman operational area where our poultry development service is replicating. So today, a woman farmer is standing next to me. Her name is Guruvari Naik. Actually, Guruvari belongs to very poor family. She has a poor financial status. By the support of Nirman and the Shivia, she is doing the poultry farming for last 2 years. So please come see. This is the poultry shed made by Guruvari. And now see how their chickens are feeding easily in a happy mood. So it is the best time to talk with farmer to know about her beautiful journey. So please come. Ma namaskar.
ଆଜ୍ଞା ନମସ୍କାର।
Ma ଆପଣ କେବେଠୁ କୁକୁଡ଼ା ଚାଷ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲେ ଆଉ ଆପଣଙ୍କର କିପରି ଇଚ୍ଛା ହେଲା?
2 ବର୍ଷ ହେଲା ଆଜ୍ଞା କୁକୁଡ଼ା ଚାଷ କରିବା। ସାର୍ ମାନେ ଆସିକି ବୁଝେଇଲେ, ତାପରେ ଫାଷ୍ଟରେ
Acha. And she told that for last 2 years she already started the poultry farming. As before, she does not know how to do the poultry farming. By the support of Nirman official staff, she has trained a lot. That's why she is doing poultry farming right now. तो माँ आपण मत ए कहतु आज पर्यंत आपण केतोटी टुलकिट नेले आ जो टुलकिट नहीं थिले से टुलकिट को कोठी माने चिकन को कोठी बिक्री कले?
ଗାଁ 9ଟା ନେଇଛି।
अच्छा
ଆମ ଘରଠେ ବିକୁଛୁ।
अच्छा घरठी आपण बिक्री करछन? She replied that mostly she already took 9 toolkits till now, and she mainly sold her chickens in the market, and also some buyers came to her house for buying the chickens. So माँ आपण जो चिकन बिक्री कले जो पैसा पत्र सब पाइले से पैसा पत्र को कोथरे खर्च कले?
ମେଡିକାଲ ଝିଅ ଦେହରେ କିଛି ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କଲି,
आज्ञा
ଆଉ ତାପରେ କିଛି ପଇସା ବଞ୍ଚେଇକି ରଖିଲି ଆଉ।
आज्ञा आज्ञा She replied that she mostly spent her income towards the children's education in the health purposes. Actually, her daughter is very serious. Actually, she has affected in sickle cell anemia. That's why most of the time she has spent her money towards her daughter's health. So, ma, ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ନିର୍ମାଣ ସଂସ୍ଥା ଆସିକି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଏଠି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର କୁକୁଡ଼ା ଚାଷ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଦେଲା, ଆପଣ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ନୂଆ ଜିନିଷ ସବୁ ଶିଖିଲେ?
ଫାଷ୍ଟରେ ଘର କରିବ ବୋଲି ସାର୍ ମାନେ କହିଲେ,
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କେତେ ml ଔଷଧ ଦେବ କୁକୁଡ଼ାମାନଙ୍କୁ ବୋଲି ଆଣିକି ବି।
She said that she had learned so many scientific technicalities like the feed management, the water management, poultry shed preparation, even trying to learn some homemade feed so that the feeding cost will be minimized. ଆପଣ ଆମର ସଂସ୍ଥା ସହିତ ଦୀର୍ଘ ଦିନ ଧରି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଅନୁଭୂତି କେମିତି ରହିଲା ଆଉ ଆପଣ ଏଥିରେ ଖୁସି ଅଛନ୍ତି ତ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆମେ ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ଅଛୁ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ଆମେ କୁକୁଡ଼ା ଚାଷ କରୁଛୁ, କିଛି ଲାଭବାନ ପାଉଛୁ।
Acha. She replied that she is extremely happy. Why? Because she know and she understands the value of poultry farming. Even she has got a very good amount of return by doing the poultry farming. And she is also looking to expand her poultry farming in future for their income. So, ma, apanku namaskar.
Aଜ୍ଞା
ଆଉ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ.
ନମସ୍କାର।
So finally, I'd also like to thank each and every staff of Shivia and the Nirman organization for their outstanding contribution towards the rural people for their socio-economic development. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Shmuti. And Shmuti, can we now come live to meet Guru Barry?
Yes, thank you, Ali. Thank you. So this is Smuti. Currently, I am here at Nirman. So one poultry farmer is standing next to me. Her name is Guruvari. So, Ma namaskar. Ma, ଆପଣ ଦୀର୍ଘ 2 ବର୍ଷ ଧରି ଆପଣ ଆମ ସହିତ କୁକୁଡ଼ା ଚାଷ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ସୋ ଆପଣ ଆମର এই ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ସହିତ ଖୁସି ଅଛନ୍ତି ତ?
ହଁ ଆଜ୍ଞା ବହୁତ
ଖୁସି ଅଛନ୍ତି।
ହଁ
So I am asking her, is she happy with our poultry farming? She replied that she is extremely happy. Why? Because due to poultry farming, she is now self-independent and financially stable. That's all. Thank you very much. Get back to Ali.
Thank you, Shmuti, and namaste, namaskar, Guru Barry. Congratulations. And well done to all the teams at Nerman, Views, and DSS who are all doing fantastic jobs replicating our poultry program in Orissa. So now over to Agri Management Services, which is our second major program, which focuses on affordable and sustainable farming. And I'm going to hand you over to Joe, who will explain the program to you. Joe, hi.
Thank you. Thank you, Ollie. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, once again. As Ollie said, agriculture program, or AMS as we call it, is all about sustainable, environment-friendly farming for very small and marginal farmers who hardly have their own land. They take the land on lease from other farmers and work on it. Now, these farmers face two major challenges while farming. The first is that the cost of producing the crop is going up every year. And the second is that the output of the crop, or the yield, has been coming down with each passing year. And because of these two challenges, the farmers are leaving farming and migrating to the cities for better opportunities. So we have come up with a 5-step holistic approach, which actually solves their challenges. So what do? So first of all, we do the soil testing for them to ensure that the soil has the right nutrients for the crop that the farmer wants to grow, so that the farmer doesn't unnecessarily put nutrients which are not required and increase their cost. The second thing that we do is we put them into small groups of 15 to 25 farmers in each group. And then we connect them to the input suppliers, like the seeds, fertilizers, etc., so that they can buy the inputs in a group and get a better price compared to each farmer going to the market and buying it from a retailer, where the cost is higher. So this again helps to cut down the cost for the farmer. The third thing that we do is put these farmers into groups, yes, and also open bank accounts as a group. And every month they deposit small amounts in the bank account. And when they actually need it for their farming, whether it's for sowing or harvesting, they can utilize this money from the bank instead of going to the money lenders in the village who charge very high interest rates, about 24 to 26% per annum. So this again helps to cut down the cost for the farmer. The fourth thing that we do is these farmers have been using chemical fertilizers and pesticides for many years and ruining the soil. So we are training these farmers to move away from using chemical pesticides and fertilizers and use more and more of biopesticides and fertilizers. Not only that, we also train these farmers to prepare these biopesticides and fertilizers at home at almost no cost. So this again reduces the cost for the farmer and also very good for the environment. And the next thing that we do is called government linkages. There are some programs by the government for the farmers, but these farmers are not aware of these programs that are run by the government. So what our team does is they go to these government offices, find out what schemes are available for the farmers. For example, they give free seeds, free fertilizers, various training programs, crop insurance, etc. So our team actually connects our farmers to these government inputs. So this again helps in cutting down the cost for the farmer and also increase the knowledge for the farmer. So these are the 5 steps that we use to address the 2 challenges. Now, what we have seen is that with these steps, the input cost has come down by at least 20 to 30%, depending on the crop. And the yield has gone up by at least 25 to 50%. Now, across, as we are expanding to more partners, what we are doing is we are tweaking the model, just like the poultry program. For example, when we expanded to Odisha, food security is a big challenge, where the farmers or the family is not able to get minimum vegetables to eat on a daily basis, on a regular basis. So what we have added there is a kitchen garden, where we provide 6 to 8 kinds of seeds to these farmers, vegetable seeds, so that they can grow the vegetables in their backyard and use it for their own consumption. And what we have seen is that they are using it for their own consumption, and also the additional they are able to sell in the market and earning income from that. So these are the tweaks that we have made. And also recently, it's not there in the slide, but recently in 1st of April, we've expanded to Jharkhand, a new place. And over there, we've added 2 more components. Over there, we have added a seed bank, where we'll be putting indigenous seeds there, where the farmers have access to these indigenous seeds, rather than going to the market every time and dependent on the market for seeds. And also, we are all aware of the climate change. So what we are doing is we are training these farmers to grow climate resilient crops like bajra, jawar, etc., which is more resistant to drought conditions because there's less rain, infrequent rains, etc. So all these changes are adding more value to these farmers. Recently, about 2 weeks back, I was in West Bengal, one of our operations, and I was so happy to see one of the farmers, how he has progressed. Initially, I had seen him when he was on the verge of quitting farming because he was not making money and wanted to move to the city. And now he's so happy with our program, and his whole family is dependent on agriculture now and the money that he's making from agriculture. So I've shot a small video, which I would like to share with you all now. Victoria, could you please share that farmer's video? Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am currently here in Shivia in West Bengal, one of our operations. And this is our agriculture farmer, and his name is, apna naam bolun?
Sir, namaskar. Amar naam Abul Kalam Malla.
His name is Abul Kalam Malla. He was doing farming before he enrolled with us. But at that point of time, he was not making any profits. And about a year and a half back, he met our livelihood service provider. And this is Rafikul, our livelihood service provider. He explained to the farmer the benefits of our program, on how he can make biopesticide fertilizers at home and how he can reduce his costs and make profits in farming. So in the last 1.5 years, he got all this training, and now this is his tomato farm. And now I would like to ask a few questions to the farmer. তো দাদা, আপনি এর আগে আপনি যখন চাষ করতেন তো কি করে আপনি চাষ করতেন?
আগে রেশনিক সার বেশি করে দিতাম, দিলে গাছ এত ভালো হতো না। এখন দাদার এতে ঢুকে 1.5 বছর ঢুকে সেখান থেকে জৈব সারের পদ্ধতি করে চাষে আমার লাভ হচ্ছে, খরচা কম হচ্ছে।
Okay, so I was asking him that when he started farming, how was he doing and what is the difference now? So he is saying that before he enrolled with us, he was buying the chemical pesticide and fertilizer from the market and using it in his fields. But the costs were going up, but the yield was not there and he was making losses. And he's saying that about a year and a half back, he met our livelihood service provider. He got all the training in 1.5 years and he has used that in his fields. And now, আপনি কি আপনার খরচা কম হয়েছে?
হ্যাঁ, খরচা কম হয়েছে। আগে আমার 12-13 হাজার টাকা টোটাল 10 কাঠা জমির মধ্যে 13,000 টাকা খরচা হতো।
Okay, so I was asking him about the costs. He is saying that for his tomato field, earlier he used to spend about 13 to 14,000 rupees. और এখন কত হচ্ছে আপনার?
এখন স্যার 7,000-7,500 টাকা খরচা হচ্ছে।
Okay, so he is saying that now his cost has dropped to 7,000, between 7,000 to 8,000 rupees. So earlier it was 13 to 14,000 and now it's 7 to 8,000. So almost half of what his cost was. And now I'm going to ask him about his yield. আপনার ফলন আগে কি রকম হতো আর এখন কি রকম হচ্ছে?
আগে কম হতো, আগে 30,000-35,000 টাকা বেচাকেনা।
আচ্ছা,
হয়তো 33,000 হতো, কিন্তু এবারে আমার আশা আছে 70 পার হয়ে যাবে।
70 পার হয়ে যাবে?
হ্যাঁ, 10 কাঠা জমি।
So he is saying that earlier he used to get about 35,000 rupees from selling the tomatoes in the market, and now he is expecting that it will be about 70,000 rupees. So almost double of what he was getting earlier. তো আপনি এটা করে আপনি খুশি আছেন?
হ্যাঁ, আমি খুশি আছি। গাছ হয়েছে, দাদাদের ইয়ে শুনে অফিসের থেকে ওষুধ দেয়। আগে পোকা লাগতো খুব,
আচ্ছা,
এবার নিম তেল দিতে আরো তেল দিচ্ছে দাদা, সেই সব তেল মারছে, আর পোকাটা আর আসছে না। আগে টমেটো এখানে পোকা লাগতো,
আচ্ছা।
ফুটো করে দিত।
So I was asking him whether he's happy with our program. He is saying that he's very happy because one, his costs have come down, and the second is there are less diseases now. He's saying that there used to be a lot of diseases in tomatoes, but now with biofertilizer and biopesticides, especially neem oil, it's helping him because now there are no more diseases in his field. And now what I would like to do is compare our farmer's tomatoes with another farmer who is growing the tomatoes but he's not in our group. So now let's come closer and see the plants. So first of all, you see these plants are higher than my height. So about I'm 5'8", so it'll be another 6.5 feet of tomato height of the plants. And now see, come closer and see the quality of the leaves. Quality of the leaves and the fruits. And we will go to another field for comparison. But before that, I'll just ask one question before we move there. Is that দাদা আপনার যে বেশি চাষ হবে, প্রফিট লাভ হবে, ও টাকা দিয়ে আপনি কি করবেন?
আমি একটা মোটর কিনবো জল সেচার জন্য, তারপর একটা স্প্রে মেশিন কিনবো যেটা চার্জার, তারপর ছেলে আছে, ছেলের পড়াশুনো করাবো।
So I'm asking him that if he makes more profit this time, what is he going to do with the money? So he's got three things in his mind. One, he wants to buy a water pump because then he can get more water. And the second, he wants to buy a sprinkler for spraying the biopesticides and fertilizers. And the third, he's saying that he's got a young son of 5 years. কত বছর হয়েছে আপনার?
আমার 31 বছর।
নেই, আপনার ছেলে?
ছেলে 5 বছর।
So he's got a 5-year-old son. He wants to save for his education. So now let's move to the another field which belongs to another farmer, but he's growing tomatoes. So let's go and see. So this is again tomato crop, but this doesn't belong to our farmer. And you can see the height. I mean, they've got a net here, so I cannot go inside. So if you see the height of the plant is, yes, slightly above my waist. And if you see the quality of the leaves, they are much smaller. They are much smaller, and the number of fruits is far less compared to our farmer.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much for the film as well. And if we can now maybe go live to Sindhya and meet Abul in person with Chandrani and Rafikul. Chandrani, are you able to be back on?
Hi, Ali. Hi, everyone. So this is Abul. And this is Rafikul, the LSP, and Patho, proud of supervisor Patho, driving all the programs very, very enthusiastically. Abul, congratulations. আপনি ভালো করেছেন, আপনি খুশি? Are you happy? He is very, very happy with the progress he has made. Rafikul, খুশি তো? তুমি ভালো করেছো, আপনি আরো ভালো করতে চান?
আরো ভালো করতে চাই, আছে আমার পরামর্শ দিচ্ছে ম্যাডাম, সেই অনুযায়ী আমি লাভবান হচ্ছি, আরো এছাড়া বড় হতে চাই।
Okay, he is thanking Nirdhan, he is thanking Shivia. He wants to grow bigger. He wants to purchase more, take more land on these. And he has very big plans for the future with Rafikul's guidance, our guidance, and wants to go a big farmer in his village. So we wish him best of luck. Thank you. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandrani. Thank you, Rafikul. And I don't know whether everybody on the call heard, but that was also Pato, who's our field supervisor in Sindhya. So he's in charge of the whole of Sindhya location. So well done, everybody there. Chandrani, are you also with Bella and Zangan here as well? Here's Bella.
So that's Bella. So proud of her. And that's Bonnie. That's Pooja. So they have very big dreams. And they are going to fulfill. Bella is going to fulfill. And she has learned a lot. She wants to be a big, very successful poultry farmer in the future. Bella, congratulations.
Thank you, Chandrani. We can't really hear very well, but it was lovely to see Bella, and absolutely congratulations for her amazing efforts in poultry farm. Thank you, Chandrani. So now we're going to go over to Arissa again to meet one of our newer farmers, Rukmini Dele, who is from one of these extremely poor tribal communities. And she's currently on the program and has introduced our sustainable techniques to her kitchen garden. So even though she had no prior knowledge of any of these techniques, she's now doing them extremely well, especially the biopesticides and fertilizers. So, Tori, please can we have Shmuti's film with Rukmini? Thanks.
This is Smruti, consultant for Shivia, Odisha. Now I am present at View's operational area where our agri management and poultry development service is replicating. Today, a woman farmer is standing next to me. Her name is Rukmini Dalai. So let's come and ask some questions regarding her activities. So, why are you interested in agriculture farming?
ଏପରି ଆଗ୍ରହ ହେଲା ବେଲେ ସାର୍ ଆମେ ତ ସରକାର କିଛି ଚାହୁଁନା ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କେ କିଛି ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିବାରୁ ଆମକୁ ଟିକେ ଆଗ୍ରହ
She told that before getting anything, she didn't help any assistance from the government. As View's organization has helped a lot regarding the agriculture farming, she is now very much interested in agriculture farming. So please tell me, so what are the crops that you practice in your field?
ଧାନ ମାଣ୍ଡିଆ ଟମାଟୋ ବାଇଗଣ କୋବି
She told that she mainly practiced in paddy, tomatoes, brinjal, onions, cabbage, etc. So, please tell me, before doing agriculture practices, what are you doing?
ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ସାର୍ ଘରର କାମ ସାରିକିରି ବଣକୁ ଯିବାର
Before getting into this agriculture practice, she mainly focused to the forest for their livelihood purposes. Sister, you told me that Views organization has helped you a lot regarding the agriculture practices. Can you tell me what are the new things that you learned from these organizations?
ସାର୍ ଧାନ ଧାଡ଼ି ଚାଷ ଶିଖିଲୁ
Again.
କେମିତି ଆମର ଏ ବାଇଗଣ ଟମାଟୋ ଆଉ ସେତକ ଆମେ ଶିଖିଲୁ ଆଉ ସେତକ ଆମେ ପକଉଛୁ.
She said that Views organization has provided so many scientific techniques like how to use the manure, how to maintain the gap in SRI methods, how to prepare the organic manure, and that techniques are very beneficial to the farmers for their production. So now you tell me, where did you sell your products and what did you do in your income?
ସାର୍ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ପନିପରିବା ଚାଷ କରୁଛୁ ଆଉ କିଛି ଅଧିକାଂଶ ବାହାରିଲେ ଯୋଉ ପିଲାଙ୍କର ଭଲ ନ ଲାଗିନଥିଲା ତାର ଲଗେଇ ଦଉଛୁ.
She said that she mostly sold their products in the nearest market and also keep some products for their self-consumption. Mostly, she spent their income towards the children's education, health, and other social purposes. Sister, you please tell me, besides agriculture, what other cultures you do here?
ହଁ ସାର୍ ପରିବା ଚାଷ ସହିତ କୁକୁଡ଼ା ଚାଷ ବି ଆମେ କରୁଛୁ.
Achha. She told that besides agriculture, she is also doing the poultry farming. So now let's come and to see your poultry farming. When you started your poultry farming?
ଏଇ 2-3 ମାସ ହେଲା ସାର୍.
Achha. She told me that 2-3 months back she had just started her poultry farming. Achha. She went to the Daspala for the poultry farming in the month of January. So you tell me, what did you learn from there?
ଦିଆଯାଉଛି ପାଣି କେମିତି ଦିଆଯାଉଛି ସେଟା ସବୁ ଶିଖିକିରି ଆସିଛୁ ସାର୍.
So many scientific technicalities from the Nirman organization like feed management, water management, shade preparation, etc. And the same thing she is replicating here. When and how many toolkits did you receive?
ସାର୍ ଆମେ 2ଟା ଟୁଲ୍ କିଟ୍ ଜାନୁଆରୀ ମାସରେ ପାଇଲୁ.
She received 2 toolkits in the month of January. Besides toolkit, what other things that you received?
ଟୁଲକିଲ୍ ସହିତ ଦାନା ବି ପାଇଛୁ।
Acha. Except toolkits, she has received 2 kilos of feed, medicine and vaccination. So, what is your experience working with views?
ସାର୍ ଆମେ ଭିଉ ସହିତ କାମ କରିକିରି ଆଉ ଉନ୍ନତି ବଢେଇବୁ ବୋଲିକିରି ଇଚ୍ଛା ବି କରୁଛୁ।
She told that working with views organization, she has got so many social respect. Even she is able to save some money for their future expenses and also plan to increase their agriculture production. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shmuti and Rukmini. So as you heard, Rukmini has just started poultry as well as the agriculture, and she went on an exposure visit with our partner Views to our partner Nerman to learn how to do PDS. So when we started replicating the poultry program elsewhere outside of Bengal, the teams and farmers came to learn from Nurdan in West Bengal. But now we're able to send teams and farmers to locations which are closest to them in proximity, in culture and language. So this knowledge transfer between more local organizations is really working very well. So here's a little clip from Shmuti taken last week showing our new partner organization, KULP in Chhattisgarh, which is another state, coming to Orissa to learn from our NGO partner Nerman in how to implement poultry development services. Sorry, can you just bring up that very short clip?
Right now, I am present at Nirman in Odisha. As you all know that Shivia is starting a new poultry program in Chhattisgarh by the help of KULP organization. That is why the official team of KULP organization with Director Sir are present here to learn some practical and theory knowledge in poultry farming. There is the official team of KULP organization who is doing the training program for last 3 days. The training being imparted by the Nirman organization to KULP would definitely help in Chhattisgarh for our project implementation. So when the training is over, they have to return Chhattisgarh and the same thing will replicate there for our project implementation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shmuti. Now that the team have been, when the team select the first farmers in the poultry development services in Chhattisgarh, they will also come to Nerman to learn from the farmers, and seeing is very much believing, and it's often how they learn best. So before we move on to our final program, I just wanted to say that since 2000, going back to the agriculture, since 2014, we've helped around 13,000 farmers on this program. But on top of this, what we're seeing is that whole communities are changing the way they farm. And so the impact goes way beyond those farmers in our portfolio. And the program has received numerous awards, both Shivia as an organization, you can see that we won the 3rd Sector Awards for the AMS program, but also, which makes me more proud than Shivia, our staff and the farmers themselves are being recognized. So if you look here on the left, you've got Gawa, who's one of our LSPs at Sindhya, and he's never been out of Bengal before, and he was given a national award on World Soul Day in December, and he was flown over to New Delhi to get this, and this was just a really incredible moment for him and all of us, actually. So I was really proud. I'm really proud of him. And then you can see other farmers have also been recognized for their use of bio products, and they've been receiving more local state awards for their farming efforts. So the program is really making a huge impact, and yeah, it's super. Thank you, Toria. So finally, over to our final program in East India, which is fish farming, and we started this a year ago after a period of research and responding to our farmers' requests to help intervene with fish farming, and responding to what our farmers' needs are as one of our absolute core values. So we've just completed a pilot of 50 farmers in Sindhya location of West Bengal, where the team has trained the farmers on how to clean their ponds, how to line the ponds, which fish are best for the conditions, how to deal with diseases, and then how to best sell their produce. So Chandrani, if you can please introduce us to Kotajan Bibi and her husband Zikir, we can then learn a little bit more about the fish program and hear how it's already really changed their lives.
Hello everyone, I'm Chandrani Banerjee, Head of Livelihood Programs for Nirdhan in West Bengal. Today we have gathered here in Shundia location, and I am here to introduce you to one of our fish farmers, Khotejan Bibi, and her husband Zikir Molla. They enrolled in our program in April 2023 along with other fish farmers, a total of 50 farmers in a pilot program for fish program from April last year. So they have completed 1 year of their journey. They will tell their story. We are going to hear about all the training, knowledge, skills and assets that they have received from Nirdhan, from Shivia, and how they have benefited from the program. So Khotejan Bibi and Zikir Molla, they met our LSP Rejaul and 4S person Oyon, who is guiding our team and the farmers to through a successful pilot program, and now the scaling program is on for another 150 farmers this year in Shundia location and 50 more in Kolaghat, where we are starting the pilot from April. So this is Khotejan, and she met them in a village meeting, met Rejaul, met Oyon in a village meeting, and they came to know about our program, what the benefits would be. They had many questions, their queries were solved, and then they enrolled into the program. Now Khotejan and Zikir, they used to do fish farming for many years, but it was not successful. এই পন্ডে তো তোমরা আগেও ফিশ ফার্মিং করেছো, তো তোমাদের কি কি সমস্যা হচ্ছিল এবং কেন তোমাদের প্রফিট হচ্ছিল না?
ওই মাছ মরে যেত, মানে তাতে মানে লসে তো মনে হচ্ছে যে আর মানে করবো না, ছেড়ে দেবো।
So Zikir tells us that they used to do fish farming, no doubt, and they took this pond on lease, but they did not make any profits from the fish production in this pond. He got about 100 to 150 kilograms of fish in one whole year. Now that was enough for his, only enough for his family to consume, and there was very little left to be sold, and sometimes no extra to be sold. So এক বছরে আগে আপনার কিরকম ইনকাম হতো এখান থেকে?
ওই অল্প সময় তো 2-10 হাজার টাকা হতো।
Between 2,000 to 10,000 is what he used to earn previously by selling the extra fish from the pond in a year. আচ্ছা, এবার আমরা শুনবো যে আপনারা এখানে ট্রেনিং এ কি কি ট্রেনিং পেয়েছেন।
সেই ডিশান চাষ করে দেখছি মোটামুটি লাভবান হবে।
খুদ দিয়ে ওই সব মাছকে যে খেতে দিতে হয় জানলে তো তুমি। So Zikir actually does the cleaning of the pond. He has learned how to prepare the pond from our program for a proper fish farming, and then they have learned a lot about when to put fish in the pond, the appropriate time, the methods of fish seed application, the techniques, and then how to regularly clean the pond, how to keep the fishes healthy and make them grow well. Khotejan says that she knows how to prepare low-cost feed at home. She knows how to prepare the probiotic juice. She knows how to prepare the organic juice to keep the fishes healthy and enable them to grow well, so that they can have a good production of fish. আচ্ছা, প্রথম সাইকেলের পর তোমরা কত মাছ মোটামুটি প্রোডাকশন করেছো?
আছে অল্প, খুব বেশি নেই।
আচ্ছা, okay, so now as compared to only 100 to 150 kilograms earlier, most of which was consumed at home, now they have at least 430 kgs of fish from their first cycle, which they have sold and earned about 40 to 50,000 rupees. So that's a huge 5 times difference in their income. And in the next cycle, they are expecting another 250 to 300 kgs to be sold. So in a total, they will get about 70 to 80,000 rupees from their fish production this year, which is a fantastic benefit impact from the program and a huge difference to their livelihood. So right now I'm going to introduce you to our supervisor of this location. So this is Partho.
Namaskar, Partho.
Partho is the supervisor of Shivia location, and he has been extremely instrumental in driving this program successfully for the last 1 year. We are very happy, Partho.
Thank you.
And what do you feel, how the farmers are benefiting?
ফার্মার আগেও চাষ করতো, কিন্তু আগে অনেক ধরনের সমস্যা হতো, যে তারপরে লো কস্ট ফিড দিয়ে ইউজ করে যে কম পয়সায় মাছটা চাষ করা যায়। এখন যেটা ওনাদের কিন্তু আত্মবিশ্বাস আসছে, কনফিডেন্ট আসছে যে আমরা এর থেকে ভালো রোজগার করতে পারি।
So Partho says that the main problem was with the quality of the fish seed and the way they looked after their ponds. They didn't clean the ponds regularly. They thought that the fishes would grow well even in an unclean pond, which is not true, which they have learned from our team. And now they know how to make different kind of organic juice, probiotic juice, feed, low-cost feed at home for enabling the fish to grow in a very healthy environment, to grow very well. So this has brought a lot of confidence in farmers like Khotejan and Jikir, and therefore now they know that they are going to make enough income, not only income but profits, to be able to support their household members. Khotejan, তুমি বলো যে তুমি এই যে ইনকাম যেটা আসছে বাড়িতে, সেটা থেকে তুমি কি ফিউচারে করতে চাও?
ওই ঘর করেছিল, দেনা হয়ে গেছিল, সব দেনা জমি সব মাছ বিক্রি হয়েছে, আবার পুকুরে মাছ দেবে দিলে তাতে থেকে আবার বাড়বে।
So Khotejan has told us 3 or 4 important plans for the future that she has. One is they recently constructed a house for which they had taken a large amount of loan from the village money lender, which they are repaying from the income they have generated from the first cycle of fish selling. And secondly, they are also able to pay the lease amount now pretty easily as compared to the previous years where they struggled to do so. Thirdly, she is spending on her grandchildren. She has 3 grandchildren, on their education, on their other needs. Fourthly, she is also saving some money to be reinvested into the pond in the next year, when they will have to buy all the fish seed and all the manures, the oil cakes and everything else required to be able to pursue the fish farming, now that they have seen excellent benefits from the program. And Jikir also tells me like he wants to lease more pond in the coming 2 or 3 years by saving enough money, so that they are able to grow this enterprise and their family doesn't have to go hungry anymore. Thank you so much for supporting us, for your generous donations, and for supporting families like Khotejan and Jikir and helping them through our fish program to come out of poverty. Khotejan, তুমি খুশি?
হ্যাঁ।
জিকির, হাসি দেখি না কেন, আপনাদের দাঁত নেই কেন? না খুব খুশি বলুন। হ্যাঁ, so they are really খুশি. খুশি means happy, very happy. And Jikir tells me I don't have one teeth, so therefore I am not smiling, but that's fine. We still find his smile very lovely and beautiful. And Khotejan is, you see, she is very beautiful. They have their Eid festival tomorrow or day after, and I heard that she has recently purchased a silk sari, which she was not able to in all the previous years, where she bought only cotton saris, but this year she has purchased a silk sari. So that's wonderful. Thank you Khotejan. Thank you. Bhalo kore kono. Thank you.
না ও বলছে ধরে দাও, এটা ধরে না।
ও কোনটা একটা ধরতেছে একটু ধরো একটা ফটো তুলি
হাত দাও ওটা হাত দাও মাছটাতে হাত দাও
এখানে হাত দাও মাছটা হাত দাও ওই তো
Thank you, Chandrani. And we can't wait to start expanding this program this year beyond Sindhya to Kolaghat location also in West Bengal. Chandrani, can we, if you're there, can we maybe see you?
Hi everyone. So this is Jikir. I have a little bit of a sad news for everyone because Fotejan is not well. She's in the hospital right now and she has got a gallbladder operation yesterday. So she's not been able to accompany him here. But apni khushi ho? Huh? Nirhan, Shivia, he is very happy with the training he has received, with the income he is earning, and he seeks blessings from all of you for Khotejan to be completely cured and get back home very safely and happily. So please, please bless Khotejan, bless him so that they can be together again.
Thank you, Chandrani. And yeah, definitely blessings to Dr. Jan and that she gets better
And
now
this
in
is
hospital.
Rajal is the LSP. Partho, again, Partho is their supervisor. So all of them are really, really happy with the fish program. Me too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And well done, Parto, for leading all these programs in Sindhya location. So that leads me to say thank you for giving up your time to join us today. It does mean a lot to us that you come and meet our families this way. And thank you to everybody in India and Madagascar, not just for today, but for your hard work every day. And of course, anyone who'd like to stay on for Q&A, you're very welcome. But I know people have to go. So Tori, do you want to quickly take
Yes, yeah,
the photo?
Yeah, if everybody who's still with us, which I can see is a lot of you, if you put your videos back on, and I can see all your smiling faces, which is great. There's actually loads of people. I might have to take a couple of shots because I can't see everybody in one shot. So a few more people coming on. That's a great shot. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, as I say, thank you so much for everybody. And if there are any questions, the Shivia team can stay on for however long, but I do know that others have to pop off, so please do.
Some nice comments in the chat. Thank you to people who've done that.
Just thank you to everybody. Really amazing work. I have to say, every time I go away, I'm like, wow. A, aren't we incredibly fortunate to be in the position we are? And B, aren't we in a great position to be able to help? So let's just do what we can.
Thank you, Vin. I completely agree. We are lived in a different world over here.
Scary. Thank you so much. So proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick, Joe, this maybe can be for you. Nick Donaldson has asked, what are the primary health challenges in Orissa, in Odisha? Can you maybe answer that one?
The health challenge, the biggest health challenge they are facing is the kidney problems because the shortage of water and no good quality of water. And because of, I think Ollie was there last month or in month of February, we saw that whole village had just one well and the whole village was using that water. And most of these people suffer from kidney diseases, various kind of kidney diseases, and the hospitals are far away. So most people die of kidney disease. That's the biggest challenge because there's no clean drinking water at all. That's the biggest problem. And in fact, one of the things that we train our poultry farmers is to prepare azolla, a kind of a fern. And for that, you need very little water. Even that water is not there. So the water is the biggest challenge and you have a lot of waterborne diseases. And the biggest one is causes the kidney problems.
Thank you very much.
Nick, you were in Orissa recently, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. And I've been working with a charity that's trying to help with literacy as well in India and trying to tie it to areas where they can support health programs and so on. So I'm just particularly interested to find out about what the challenges you see there are. Sorry to fuse my own interest, but hopefully it crosses over with your work as well. So thank you.
Absolutely. Actually, in Orissa, when we go there, you know, there's it's the areas we're working in, as Joe said, they're very, very dry, and that's partly why we're focusing on the kitchen gardens rather than the bigger fields in West Bengal. And you know, the lack of water is a huge issue for these farmers, and just generally food security.
Yeah.
So that's
Where
why
Smriti is today, it's 45 degrees over there.
and we're only in April as well.
Only in April, yeah. You still got whole of May. Like May is the peak summer.
Mm. We were there a few weeks ago in Orissa, and you could already see it was, you know, meant to be a greener time. It was already very dry, wasn't it, Joe?
Yes, yeah, very, very dry. Very, very dry.
Yeah. So the question, have the government shown interest in the methods and ways of working to improve the agricultural output? Yes, John, absolutely. So one of the awards that the farmers got was indeed a government award, because the efforts locally were seen and recognized, and they were you know, delighted by the bio farming. So those the government certainly has shown interest in the AMS program. Joe, would you like to add anything, or Chandrani, if she can add anything to that?
Yeah, I agree with what Ollie said, because as I was telling in my agriculture program part, where there are programs by the government, but the poor farmers are not aware because of the not illiterate. So the government is providing free seeds, fertilizers. The good part is that even the government is trying to slowly push away from using more and more chemicals and use more and more bio. And that is why you have nowadays neem-coated fertilizers, like neem-coated chemical fertilizers. So that's one way of slowly reducing the chemicals in the fields. And instead of that 50 kg bag, they've slowly reduced it to 45 kgs. So the farmer thinks that he needs one sack of seed, one sack of fertilizers in the field. So he buys one sack. What he doesn't realize is that from 50, it's gone down to 45. So that's another way of reducing the chemicals in the field. So yes, the government is trying to reduce the chemical usage in the fields.
John, I'll tell you one thing we're doing this year, which I'm really excited about, is we're developing a Shivia farmer app, and where we're going to put all our knowledge of the poultry, the agriculture, the fish on this app, and we're literally starting it now, and I hope that will also go way beyond our farmer portfolio. So any farmers, any of these areas can start accessing it, and I'm sure that there will be links between us and the government on that, both their programs being on our app, and government officers to me maybe will be able to use it as well. So that's the big thing we're doing this year.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. One more question here about the fish farming in Kolaghat from Shivia. Have you started with the onboarding of fish farmers in Kolaghat? How has that process been?
Chandrani, are you able to hear and comment on the onboarding of the new fish farmers in Kolaghat, the expansion?
Yes, I'm back, Ollie.
Okay.
Because of the heat, we have started the onboarding of the farmers in Kolaghat. We have actually finished it in March. And on 28th of March, we have done the pond preparation training for all 50 LSPs and supervisors were here in Shivia, getting trained alongside the other farmers here. So yes, that is in progress. And very soon we are going to distribute this seed.
Could you hear that? Could you hear what Chandrani was saying?
Very soon we are going to distribute seed, maybe next week or the week next, depending on the weather. So if the weather is okay by the next Friday, we are going to do it. And Shivia, we are distributing tomorrow, the first batch.
Yeah. So in answer to your questions, as we have have started onboarding in Kolagat, the farmers, and the team there had been trained by the team in Sundia location. So it's all kicking off as planned.
Sounds lovely. Thank you for the answer.
So thank you so much, everybody, and thank you for your support, everyone. It means a lot to us.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for a great
Thank you, everyone.
presentation. Thank you.